Platinum hood pass, tap in, don't miss. Welcome to the realm where the game sound rich. Hosted by the queen, that's Ms.Platinum lit. Every single word from her tongue, that's a brick. Future in the chat, we align, that's a code. Knowledge in the bag, every gym on the road. Nuborn on the board, let the whole world know. Turn the volume up, let the platinum brain glow. Platinum hood pass,
We on. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Platinum, and we back. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back with the jump off, as I like to say. It's the Platinum Hood Pass podcast, where we talk about everything and anything that's going on in our hood, your hood, just everywhere. So, today I'm going to do a little intro show, get back into, the things I used to talk about, what we're going to be talking about, what we will be doing, what we won't be doing. So, to all you good people out there on TV land, I hope you come and you join me as you did the last time on my other podcast. That was great. And I hope that you guys get to enjoy me as much as I enjoy you giving out information and sharing information and things like that, we all find interesting, everyday life things. So, of course, you guys know I would have to have a rundown of everything that I wanted to do, everything that I want to talk about with you guys, the different things that I want to bring up, different viewpoints, all the different things that are going on in our world today that a lot of people don't really have a voice in. So I see now lately that they have this thing on television now where you can add in, it's like you use the remote control to play a game on your television. And I swear to God, I made that up. I swear to God, I made that up because I remember many years ago when they first started having the reality TV shows. And this was before they were doing on all the other shows where they have them talking about it. They should have had where you can respond right underneath the television, like, no, she don't got on this, whatever. No, she don't got her hair like that. The things that we would say and the things that they want us to post, we should have been doing it right there on the television. So now they have this interactive television. That's what it's called. And you get to like play games. I actually liked it. I played a couple of games, brain games on it and things like that. But yeah, I think that was a good idea that they did. And I think I made that up, as I do feel about so many things, because, I had a podcast so long ago. So now we have so many different podcasts out. Everybody has a podcast. They have podcasts on everything. Cats, dogs, and of course people. And some of them are interesting and some of them are not. So the internet has really taken off in the past few years since I've been gone and come back. The internet world has taken over. Everything is internet. Everything is social media. Everything is followers. Everything is how many likes you have, right? How important you are. Not in real life, but on social media, And it's really sad because it's not really what I think they really thought it was going to be when they first brought out social media, of course, because we've lost so many people because of it. Young people, bullying and things like that they have to go through, things like that. But yeah, I've seen a lot of things that I wanted to do on my podcast, and they're now doing it. But kudos to them. That lets me know that, I was smart even back then, doing what I was doing. So the first thing, and I want to talk about that's on the internet that is just about to drive me insane. I said I wasn't going to talk about too much of it, but every time I turn on, if I even go on anything, Instagram, not really TikTok that much, but all of these other platforms that they have, and the first thing that comes up is Papoose and Remy Ma. It's like, it's almost like they forgot that Remy Ma cheated on Papoose. And I ain't trying to go for Remy Ma. Because you know what I'm saying? I like Remy Ma and I like her music, and I'm not trying to go for her because I don't know them personally, so I can't make that type of judgment. I can only go on what they show on social media, which is a lot. We all know that it's a lot. But they tend to forget now they're only talking about Papoose and Clarissa. So I'm sure everybody's up to date on it. And the new thing is that Papoose allegedly is supposed to have robbed Clarissa, she's saying, of $100,000, and she has the receipts, and then Pap is saying that she cheated or whatever the case may be. Either way, no one's discussing and remembering. Everybody's getting down on them and in their relationship, and it's been all about them. No one and everyone forgot about the fact that this started from Remy Ma cheating on him with Easy Bake Oven. I don't know what his name is. Easy Block Oven or something like that. I don't know. Either way, she cheated on Pat. And that's why we are where we are today. So now Remy Ma has the last laugh. So it's like, yeah, because Clarissa and Pap is Thraga at this point, allegedly, according to what's going on in the internet. Now, you have to remember, all these things is not things that you know per se, unless you know these people personally. You know, I might know somebody that knows somebody that knows something about it, but for most part, I don't know these two people, or three. I don't know them, so I can't just make that call on them. But it's a lot going on. And sometimes I think about the fact that, you know, we forget that these people are real people and they do have real lives going on. I don't know if Cardi B is still in it. Everything that was going on with her and her new baby, and I think it was the football player that she was with, and everybody was making so many comments about it, and about Cardi and about her being what they would have done if they was in her situation. And I'm sorry, anybody and everybody would have done exactly what Cardi did in her situation. No one would have done anything different. You know, you get with a football player, you get pregnant, you have the baby. So I think that they was going a bit hard on my girl Cardi. I don't think that was necessary for some of the things that they was going through. She still has a baby. They have children. They're real life people living real lives. So when we have to go so hard on them on social media, it must affect them in a certain way. And you guys know I always talk about mental health. I think that is very, very important. So, but I'll talk about mental health. I think that's important. I'm going to have a mental health section, of course. How's your mental health? I would like to have call-ins on that, you know, and have people call in. I can give them a little bit of mental health advice. I am definitely legally licensed in the state of New York to give that. So I'm going to start doing that, which I think that's great because people have a lot of questions sometimes. People question me all day about different things. And today, mental health is very, very important. And I think that that's overlooked, not just because of the stigma, but now because of the non-stigma, if you can get that. Because now one person came out, they have mental health, and now everybody's coming out and saying that they have mental health, but it's taken away from what the real mental health is really, what it really is, and the real gist of it, and the health and the help that's needed within that area. So I'm going to try to help out in that area. You know, I'm going to do news. Yes, I'm going to do news, politics. I'm going to talk about that, real life news. Like, yeah, politics. What's going on in Congress? What's going on with Donald Trump and the war and all of this stuff? Well, I'll try to keep up as much as I can because the news is so depressing. But I'll do a little talk on that. I want to do a little segment for small talk. You know, shit that makes my skin crawl. Things that aggravate me on a regular. You know, things just every day somebody has to do something that is so ridiculous. So I have this book that I want to write. I need to patent it before I say it, but so I will. But it's basically about things that make you go, things that, you know, people that just they do things and it's like, why are you doing that in today's day and age, right? So we're gonna always do a little segment on that. Normal versus crazy. That's everywhere we go, right? Just facts, maybe opinions. We're going to do hood news, my news, your news, everybody's news. Holla, holla on the guests. because I always have a guest here, or at least I'll always try to have a guest, because that makes it more interesting, I think, when I have a guest and we get to talk and chop it up. Thinking about maybe having some uh, reoccurring guests, someone that might want to come in and always come in and chat it up with me. um I'm going to do a karaoke segment because I love that. Just at the end, a little 15-20 minutes. That might be too long. That might be so long. A song is like 4 minutes, right? 5 minutes. So we'll do one song. If it's really good, I'll do two. Either way, I'm doing karaoke. Yeah, I know I can't sing. Y'all know I can't sing from before, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to sing. It's not about that. Okay? The best of the singers will tell you that you're supposed to sing from your heart. You're supposed to sing because it makes you feel good. So it doesn't matter if you can't sing or not. Right? So that's going to be me. And I'm doing Platinum versus Platinum because that idea was that game, was my idea. That was my idea. And that's basically where I did categories. We played categories as a kid, me and my siblings. And so I always I did that in my very first show, where we did Little Kim versus Nicki Minaj. Why do you think she's better, or why do you think she's better? And we have a little debate about it or not. Okay, and we go through it. All right, so we're gonna talk about those things right there, and that's it. Did you guys see that new movie? Tyler Perry got a new movie out called Joe Goes to College, or Joe's College Road Trip. I think that's what it's about. And he's like 89 years old. And he's basically going with his grandson, who is not very knowledgeable about African Americans, basically. And he you guys know Joe and the whole Tyler Perry family and what they do and how they do things. So he's taking Tyler Perry's son basically on a road trip to the college. It's an all-white college, and he wants him to basically learn historical African American things as he goes along the way. So it really is a well put together movie, but you have to really be, as they use the word today, woke, in order to really understand it, to see it, to be clear on what he's really trying to bring across, the messages that he's trying to bring across, and also the messages and the statements that he might not have wanted to bring about in his movie, but he had to. And it's very clear if you're keen and you're woke, as they say. So I definitely was keen and I was woke on it. I watched it. I thought it was great. They had a couple of things in it that was definitely questionable, but for the most part, it's Tyler Perry. If your mind is open enough to be able to understand things without being too critical, as they would say, not all the time can we be as non-critical or have non-judgment, but we do. So you have to be able to watch these movies sometimes with an open mind, just a clear mind. Go in with a clear mind and try to look at it from other people's point of view. Because people are very selfish today, and they want everyone is supposed to look at things from your point of view. And not always is your point of view wrong, but it's not always right. And sometimes you have to be able to agree to disagree. And not everyone really knows how to do that freely and clearly, maturely, I would like to say. So you have to watch movies like that today, because if not, you're never going to be able to enjoy it in its proper way. So that's what the shows is basically going to be about, and anything else that we want to talk about. So we have someone that stepped in here. O'Neal came in the spot. I know he doesn't want to be on camera with me, but he's here. He came to step in. O'Neal, I know that you do t-shirts. Am I correct, O'Neal? Talk to me. Tell me what's up. You ain't going to be coming in here sitting on my set and not saying nothing, O'Neal.
Oh, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Okay, you came through?
Yeah.
All right, well, you know that today's my first day back after a while. I was gone for a minute, but I'm back on with the jump off. So I appreciate you. This is like, my first show back in. When I'm on my 100th show, you got to come back through.
I will.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's
You
good.
remind me of somebody, O'Neal. I'm not sure who it is. And it's like, who does O'Neal look like? Somebody from, you know, somebody from back in the days. Did you go, what high school did you go to? Look at the producers going to be
Automotive.
like, what? What high school?
Automotive.
Oh, automotive. That's different. I remember that, but it was very rare that you find somebody to go to that school. Because you guys was into like fixing cars and stuff, right?
I went there because I was bad.
Wow. See, I
I
never
was the
knew
only
that.
school that picked me.
Wow. See, I never knew that. Where was that located in Brooklyn?
Last stop in Brooklyn on the L train.
I remember that, but I don't remember it being a bad school. I remember it
No, it
having,
wasn't a bad school. I was bad.
right. So, but they allowed you to go, right?
Yeah.
You from Queens, though.
No, I'm from Brownsville.
Okay. So if you're from Brooklyn, then yeah. Yeah, you had to go to the bad school in Brooklyn. All right. So that's what's up. So what you doing today? What you into today? Even though you was a bad boy back then, what did you grow up to be? Tell me about that.
I work in the hospital right now.
Okay.
I'm there for 26 years.
Hey,
I have my own clothing line.
nice.
I'm partnered with Nuborn King.
Okay, so hold on. What do you do in the hospital?
I do
If that's okay.
Central Supply. I supply the hospital.
I love Central Supply. So I know about Central Supply. I used to work in, so I got bumped to Central Supply before.
I got bumped there too.
You got bumped there too? I got bumped there as well.
When I first started in the hospital, I was doing printing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Central Supply happens to be the highest paid non-clinical unit in the hospital. Yes. So most of the time, people who work in Central Supply are actually people who, they got bumped there. And that's not really, it was like that at least for me in my hospital. But I had like Central Supply. They wanted me to be the supervisor, but I didn't want to take it. I do social work. Okay, so now you work in Central. Okay. All
I
right.
don't want to work no more.
Right. It's almost time for retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm on that too. All right, so the t-shirt line now. You started doing your t-shirt line when?
Been some years now. About 6, 7, 8, 9 years now.
Okay. And what's the name of it?
Rhetorical.
Rhetorical. All right. You gotta give me some t-shirts. Let me wear it on the show and wear it around and things like that. So what is rhetorical about? What does that mean for you?
Rhetorical question.
Okay, so basically it just says rhetorical against the shirts.
No, it put anything on it.
You could put whatever you want to put.
Yeah. So I have that line and I have my Go Van line.
Okay.
Go Van line is my last name.
Okay.
So,
and those are just t-shirts. These are all t-shirts?
These are hoodies, t-shirts, sweatsuits. Yeah.
All right. So how can people view your things if they want to see it and buy your stuff?
I'm online.
Okay.
I'm Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Okay. What's your Instagram handle?
Go Van Brand.
Okay.
Yeah, everything on there.
All right. Go Van Brand.
Yeah.
Okay. One word? Yeah. GOVANBRAND?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's good. People, you can go out there and check it out. It's a good brand. It's a hoodies with the sweater, with the zip, or just a pullover with the...
It's a pullover.
The pullover hoodies.
Yeah.
All right. I like pullover hoodies. You got a pink one or a red one?
Not right now.
Oh, come on. You got to get pink or red. Come on. You got to get pink or red for me. All right. And then you got sweatpants to go with it. So right now it's just the basic colors is it for men only?
It's for men and women.
Okay. So a unisex.
I don't have a woman brand, but the sweatsuits that I have right now, women and men can wear it.
Okay, good. So a unisex
yeah.
sweatsuit. All right, you need to get your colors up. Okay, good. Everybody always likes a good sweatsuit. Yeah, so that's good. All right, well, that's great. So sweatsuit, getting ready to retire. You want to move out the country when you retire? Because I hear a lot of people today want to move out the country when they retire.
Nah.
No, you don't.
I'm staying right here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I know. A lot of people want to move out the country. A lot of people don't, for the same said reasons. That's crazy. Because most of the time, the reasons are exactly the same of why they want to go and why they don't want to go. I find that very strange.
I don't. I know I'm safe here.
See?
No hurricanes, no
See?
tornadoes.
See? And people say, well, I'll be safer over across seas. You're like, okay, you think so? Yeah. They don't want to deal with some of the things in the politics that's going on today. So I was gone for a while. And when I say gone, I mean I had left New York. And you know, sometimes when you leave where you live at, you don't watch the news. So I wasn't really caught up. I think the day that I left started the war. A war was going on. Correct?
I'm going to tell you the truth.
You didn't know either, O'Neal? Let me find out.
No, I know about the war, but I do not watch the news.
Oh, you don't watch the news either?
At all.
Yeah. The news is very depressing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It is very depressing. Yeah, well, this is the world that we live in, unfortunately. So I'll have to come back to you guys in TV land on that one because I'm going to go do my research about that. Because I like to talk about the news. A lot of people don't like to talk about the news, the real news about what's going on their podcast, but I do. And, you know, I like to talk about the hood and all of that. No hurricanes? It's hurricane. That's what I'm saying. Some people who, you know, they have their own, you know, that's what I wanted to say. Some people think Trump is a hurricane. So, you know, they want to leave. They want to leave they want to leave the states. I had wanted to leave the states. So.
Certain things I agree with Trump. Like,
you agree?
Was certain things.
Okay.
Like the needles, like taking the medications and us taking these shots and stuff. I'm 100% with him with not taking the shots and stuff.
Yeah. Well.
And giving these kids these shots. 100% with that.
Yeah.
Because now you don't know what's in these shots.
Yeah. Did you hear what they said about COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that everybody who was giving out, this is all not me. This is all things that I read. So allegedly, yeah, they were saying how when everybody who got the COVID shot, they basically put something in that to see if it was going to kill you or not. Like you really had to be strong and have a strong immune system in order to beat that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people took the COVID shot, but it was basically a test.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, it was a test, and they need to try to get the people out as much as they can. They can't deport black people. That's the only people you can't deport, so that's why this is why Bang Bang goes on all the time. Can't deport them. So you try to get rid of them. They put laundry detergent in you? Wow. Yeah, I would have been real scared too. I would have been really scared too. The nurses though was ensuring us that everything that was in that COVID shot that they gave us was something that we had already had in our childhood. So I worked in the hospital. I was one that I had to take it. Unfortunately, I was like, well, I got to take it for the team. Nobody else ain't going to work. I'm going to go ahead and take it and then flush my body out like I think I could. And that's what I did. I flushed my body out for a long time. Just kept on do something to flush out my body, eating garlic cloves and all kind of stuff to make sure I try to clean my blood out. Because, there's so many stories going on about that. And then I kept on feeling my arm. I kept on saying, oh my God, I was taking a piece of magnet, putting it to my arm, making sure it was no magnet pieces in my arm, trying to make sure no metals, because that's what they were saying. Yeah, that they was trying to put that microchip inside of you, and it was that's so small, But I'm somebody who I actually been reading up on those things since 1998. So when that happened and these things happen, I actually am somebody that's woke, so to speak, because I have been studying it for a long time. 98 is a very, very long time, almost 28 years I've been studying that before we had all of this different type of technology that's out. I don't know what intrigued me at the time, but something intrigued me, and then I just jumped on it, and I just went all the way down. I might have jumped in at least 20 rabbit holes trying to, I'm talking about in the rabbit hole and got the other one out, got one hand in and holding out because I don't want to go too far in, but I still wanted to see what it was. It was so intriguing to me. And they used to literally cut my computer off shut it down. Me and my neighbor, we used to watch it. God bless her, Tati. We used to watch it. They used to shut it down because we was getting into it too much. And every single thing that we studied back then is literally happening today, right now. So much stuff. And it's amazing to me because I remember back then saying, God, I hope that when these things happen, I don't even be here on this earth anymore. Because back then in like 98, 2026 seems so far. If you didn't, when you're in your 18 or 19, you're like, that seems so absurd. But now we're in 2026 and it's like, oh, that's really, and people are like, oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. Especially like on, when they show those short little reels. And it's like, we've been knowing these things. And these things been
even the movies that you look at today.
That's right. You can watch
back in the days.
That's right. I watched Howard the Duck. Watched Howard the Duck again. The movie from like, what was that, the 80s, the late 80s? I couldn't believe it. And I said, I don't believe that these kids is watching Howard the Duck like this.
Cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
Simpsons told you a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They
still do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simpsons and Family Guy's a little hip too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little hip. They're a little raunchy with it, but they're hip too. They're hip as well. They're hip. But hey, what can you do? This is what it is. This is what it is, O'Neal. So I was just going down, a little couple of facts and things. Let me see what else did I write in here that I wanted to talk about. Did you guys hear about one of the, it was a guy named Dion Dawkins. I think he's a politician or either a reverend. Either way, that doesn't matter. The story is what matters. He claimed that someone stole his fiance's Rolexes, and it's not his first time having these issues like this on the planes, right? Really? I mean, are you today? Again and again? And they just keep falling for it? And they just keep giving his money back for the Rolexes? Like, these are the things that make you be like right in your face, they do dumb shit. They accept dumb stuff. And there's things that goes on in the world that is so serious. And they'll let dumb things happen at the same damn time. Like, you could watch, Trump watches something on a tape in video and says, no, that's not what happened. That's not that. No, you don't have a burgundy pants here, O'Neal. Those pants are not burgundy. Like, just straight up. That like bugs me.
Did you hear
out.
Trump say that, I forgot what he said. He said the guy had no legs and he's still walking around. That's what he said.
Yo, he's bugged.
The guy have no legs and he's still walking around.
Wow.
I said, you can't make this up.
Oh, yeah. That's what they do. That's what they do. I've been reading the book called Surrounded by Idiots. Is all I could say. It makes up of the four human, it breaks it up into like four different characteristics of the human. And mine was so perfect. Of course, I went immediately to red. It was perfect to who I was. And it has a whole line of different traits. I'm going to give maybe about 25 different traits for each person. And it is so direct and to the point. But if you feel like you're surrounded by idiots, that's a good book to read. Because it gives you a different viewpoint on how to deal with them. Because once you realize they're an idiot, then it's like, it's a no-brainer really for you. But sometimes you're in a situation that you're dealing with them. Maybe at work, or you might be in at an organization where you're in a meeting all the time and everyone is like idiots. And you really, according to what you might see. So not necessarily that they're dumb, but according to how you see things. So it gives you a way on how to teach, how to deal with them, how to see things in a different point of view, which is always great to me, So I told y'all about Remy Ma and Papoose. You got any input on that? You know about that stuff? You've been seeing it. Do you go on social media?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I don't pay it
You don't pay it no mind.
into too much of that stuff.
Right.
I
But
ain't
it's
paying.
over. Is it overflowing to you? Do you find it to be overbearing?
Yes, at times because everybody's human.
That's
They
correct.
look at these people like they not human.
That's what I just said when I was talking about it. That
They
they're
human at the end of the day.
end of the day.
They make mistakes. We make mistakes. Like,
Don't judge them.
yeah.
I agree with you on that.
So, people just look at stuff so different because they got money.
That's right. I agree.
Like, I hate when I'm looking at social media and they say, oh, this person did this, this person did that. And at the end of the day, you be like, this person is human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just because he came up on some money, he ain't capable of doing this.
Correct.
He can't do that.
Correct. Same thing with the
That's
women.
why sometimes
they come down so hard.
they don't pay to be a celebrity
Right.
or be
Right.
rich. Because you can't do nothing.
Exactly. You cannot do a thing. You cannot do
one
a thing.
little thing.
Yep.
You
It's
bad
hard to
guy.
keep your nose clean if you're a
Bad
celebrity.
guy.
Yeah, you gotta really know how to keep your nose clean when you're a celebrity, and that's pretty hard for some people, But yeah, it's so overwhelming sometimes. Like I was saying, every time you go on social media, no matter what it is, you're seeing Papoose and Remy Ma. Like, all right, so at a point it was Diddy'd out.
Yeah.
Every single thing was Diddy. You don't even hear about Diddy anymore.
Him and 50.
Oh yeah, well 50 is gonna stay on it.
50 gonna stay.
Yeah. What part of Queens you from? You said?
I'm not from Queens.
Oh, that's right. You're from Brooklyn. You're from Brooklyn. Okay.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Brownsville, but I live in Long Island now.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I'm from Queens. I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens. So, but every time you turn on that phone and you go on any part of social media, you're going to see 50 cents immediately. T.I. and Tiny creeping up right now.
Yeah.
But again, they got some beef with 50.
Yeah.
The son.
50 got beef with everybody.
Yeah, I don't know why. Such a nice young man growing up. I don't know what happened.
I think he go after his own kind too much. To me,
a lot of people might say that. A lot of people feel. I've read that in a couple
certain things you gotta just let people be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how he got into being the biggest troll. But he is trolling the world.
Yeah.
And he is in beef with everyone.
And a lot of people love him.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people love him.
Speaking of, what do you think about Jay-Z's concert? The Blueprint and what's the other one? Unreasonable Doubt.
They can keep that.
That's what I said, baby. They could keep that.
I see it right on YouTube.
And if not, I'll rerun it. I'll just rerun his records and keep playing them. But $600, they be expensive because Chris Brown, didn't he have some ridiculous $1,000 tickets? I think one time for one of his concerts.
I don't think his Chris Brown concert was so much though.
Yeah,
he may have certain tickets for certain areas.
Okay.
But Jay-Z, they talking about all the way at the top for $600.
Oh yeah, no,
that's too much. Come on.
I seen it. I was there when at the actual night that R. Kelly dropped the mic. Both. What is it?
The best of both worlds.
Yeah, the best of both worlds. Yeah, I was there at that very first concert. I don't know if it's the first one, but I was there that night when when R. Kelly dropped that mic, like somebody in the front with a gun or whatever like that. I was right there. It was so funny. These two girls were sitting next to me and my two friends, Buddy and Shaq, and we were sitting there. And the girls, they wanted to see R. Kelly. They was tight. Oh, they was tight. They was sitting there tight, rolling shirt. We was going Hova. This is before our woke days. So that was a long time ago. I would never be nowhere screaming Hova again. But I'm just saying that's what it was back then. It was
You're not a fan of R. Kelly?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm on some free I'm on some free Uncle Kel shit all the time. But that's only because I watched that story from a different standpoint as well.
My thing about that, nobody was there, so nobody know what happened.
Right.
We just going on what they said.
Right. And I think that the girls and the parents, they had a lot more to play. I can't see my daughter being in that situation,
right? And
I can't get at R. Kelly. I'm going straight when he on the stage, like I'm busting through. Like I don't know. But you're not gonna tell me he gonna hold my 16-year-old daughter.
Basically, I don't think that man was that bad.
Kels?
I'm a big Kel fan.
Okay.
And I don't think, I'm not gonna say he might have did some of the things that he did, but all the other stuff that they saying this man did and this and that, we wouldn't know because we wasn't there.
Yeah.
So you can't paint a picture until you know the real truth.
I
and
agree.
so much things surface this world.
Yeah.
Look at our president.
Yeah.
Look at there's a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
It's all right for the white man to do it, but a black man can't do it.
Listen, when Diddy's stuff came out, okay, so I was born to be a lawyer. I should have been a lawyer in life. I still might pursue that still. But when his story first came out, I said, God, I wish I could have been his lawyer. The very first sentence that would have came out of my mouth in that courtroom is, so today we are judging Sean Puffy Combs for his Hugh Hefner parties. I want to know if that's what we're sitting here doing.
That's right.
Are we going to judge him on his Hugh Hefner parties? That would have stopped that right there. Because, I mean, I don't care. He buying $1 million of baby oil. He got $1 million that he could buy $1 million of baby oil. Everybody was consenting adults. Now, if you're talking about children, that's a whole different story.
Right.
I have yet to see any children on any tapes.
Right.
I have yet to see any children. I've seen them do some. Not that I'm saying I don't believe that. What I am going to say is that I have yet to see that on any tapes. I mean, younger women, yeah, and still again, where's your parents? Because how? At 16, I couldn't have went to Diddy's party on my own, me and my friends. My mother and father been like, you going where? What time you coming back? I went, well, I'm going to take you to Diddy, and I want to meet Diddy. I want to say hello to him, and I want to talk to him or his parents. My mother would have been saying she would have talked to Diddy parents. Like, especially because she would have known what was going on. No. So all those adults that waited every year that they were there and said, oh, where's the sign up for next year? Because we want to come back. They were there. Now, the after party is a whole different story. That's a whole different story. All of those things still, somebody would have to be there to tell you that, listen, this is what was going on. This is what it was.
One thing is, why wait till it happened? When all the when everything started coming out, this when everybody started coming out. Why y'all ain't been come out?
Yeah. And that was a long time. That was a long time that they claimed that all of these things was going down.
Yeah.
A very, very long time. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I will say that. It's very unfortunate that these men who were very successful in life were involved in anything like that to have to succumb to these type of charges. That's what's sad about it. They should have been, nobody was around them to say, bruh, what you doing? Chill, stay with Kim Porter.
So you think R. Kelly should have got all that time that he got?
I don't think R. Kelly should have gotten all that time at all. R. Kelly's case is so very different than Diddy's in many ways. But I can't see how these young girls was chilling with R. Kelly all these years and their mothers are now saying something. Wait a minute, what? So all the years that they was underage, they was good. And as soon as they got of age, that's when you now flipping? That's kind of strange to me.
Money stopped.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what it was.
Something had to happen there.
Money stopped.
Yeah, something had to happen there on why something like that could occur for so long. And then all of a sudden now when they're of age, you're of age now? And now you're trying to come in. I've already been here for 5 years. I'm 17. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to be 18. I've been here already 5 years. So that was a lot that was going on with my boy Kels. It was a lot. And it's sad because R. Kelly was such a great instrument in music.
Right.
He really
Listen
was.
right now.
Yeah, Kels was the big homie. He was such a, just a great force in hip hop history, R&B music, and it's sad for Diddy too. And Diddy too, you know, Diddy too at the end of the day. I felt bad for Puff. Cause he should have just sat his little dancing ass down. He's somewhere going like this all the time, shaking his damn shoulders. Like, sit down, Diddy. You know? Oh man, yo, he played himself with all of that. Because he just didn't have to do that. That's the thing I don't get. Like, at which point didn't you stop and think, hold on, time out. I just got the key to the city. I am not trying to hit this girl. I am not trying to, you know, do all of that. I can't do it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. We got to try to pray for them all. Because I don't really know what else to do for them. For Diddy, for Kels. They don't really say nothing about Kels no more. He just sitting doing his time, right? How much time he had?
They gave him 30.
She might have did 8 yet. He probably ain't been in jail for 10 years yet. Damn, Kels.
I think they're gonna let him go though, cause his lawyer's fighting. So.
And ain't Diddy in Fort Dix, right? Chilling.
He should be. They said his time is gonna be cut too. So he might not even do the whole 4 years.
Man, Diddy's sitting in jail looking gray. The whole body from head to toe. He looked like a gray man. I'm sorry, Puff.
That's how it is when you inside and that money ain't like outside.
Yeah. You ain't getting that hair dyed up. You ain't got no Beijing in jail. Oh, shit. Poor Diddy. Well, you know what? Listen. If you do the crime, you got to do the time. You know, and that's the bottom line. I just did the whole 3 bars right there. You know, it is. It's the bottom line. So I don't know. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. You know. So I don't know. I would like to listen to some music on my show. At least one show. At least one song. Hey, Mr. DJ. Let me get one good song. Let me play one. Let's do something. Let me get one karaoke in for the evening before I finish out the studio. I'm coming back next week. Let me let y'all know that I'm going to be here weekly. Check out my show. I'm going to have a plethora of guests. Let me tell y'all some guests that's coming up so y'all could get excited. Tell y'all who's coming on the show. I got my girl Kiki Harris. Her name is Kiki Quiet. Okay, she's an R&B singer. She's going to be coming through. Of course, you know my girl Peaches and the whole Platinum Plus P crew is going to come on. My boy Jeff Harris, the beginnings of hip hop. He's going to come in and talk to you about that. My boy Bobby Garcia from the Lost Boys, Mr. Cheeks himself from the Lost Boys. My girl Coco Chanel, my baby Nasia, Khalil. Freaky Kaya baby, if I could get her. She's so busy. My girl Dr. Agard, my boy David Nazir, my girl Stacy that sell the ice cream from the buildings. We got my boy Big Tay, he does the Empanadas King. I gotta have him come through. He's all over. A young brother that has a store out here on Rockaway and his own truck. I think he's not even, I don't even know. He's my friend Sharman's son, so I'm gonna have him come through, and my friend Steve. Sorry, Steve. That's their son, and he's very successful. Who else I'm gonna have on here? I got a couple of other people. Hopefully my girl Lady Sparkle will come through. My boy Brooklyn Dell, Dr. C, who I think has the cure to cancer. I'm gonna have Dr. C on here a few times because Dr. C really is a plethora of information about things that us as colored people need to know about. I have a whole lot of independent artists that I will have coming on that I know from all across New York City, VIP, hopefully Money Magic, my boy KB, Bentley. We got a couple of people, my friends who are comics. I'm going to have them come on. Let me see. I got my list is long. You guys know it was long and long and long. I'm going to have my boy Larry Lunch come through, my boy Will. Grand Hard, he's coming through. Nike from the Shirt Kings, Shakim, my girl Heidi Z, she does she's an actress. She does Sesame Street voiceovers. She's on Broadway. So we're gonna have all these kind of people. I have all different kinds of people come on. Who else? My boy Jeff Starr. Dominique, my boy Van the Vampire. I'm going to have Shah the Firm, of course, and a plethora of a whole bunch of other people from the hood to come through. Some people that, might be, from the hood.
Platinum hood pass, we don't last, we assess every story that you heard, got the truth under pressure from the streets to the stream. Yeah, we been that function, sign, seal, sent out.
A queuing at the black shin.